Good morning, welcome to Morning Outlook. This is Kim speaking on Wednesday the 10th of July. So the main thing today is we got at 3 o'clock we got Fed Chair Powell testifying, which may, with the questioning and everything that goes behind it, may create some volatility at 3 o'clock. Following on from that, US wise, at 7 o'clock we've got the FOMC minutes. Now, with him testifying at 3 o'clock, I'd have thought everything that's in those minutes is probably squeezed out, but you never know. So there may be things that are not coming forward and come through at 7 o'clock, so watch out for 7 o'clock as well. But for now, that's the key news today. Marginally just behind, of course, is the Canadian monetary policy report. Although there's no expectation of any change there, it really depends on comments that come out of that. There was an expectation 2 or 3 months ago when they met for a bit of a more hawkish tone. That never happened, so we'll see what happens for now. But no rate cut or rate increase expected. They were erring more towards a rate increase way back. That sort of went off the table, but we'll see. Other news this morning, 9:30, we got UK news, we've got the pound news, GDP, which is a monthly number, still not really 100% in terms of the effect of that particular number coming out on a monthly basis as opposed to the quarterly, but we'll see what sort of volatility we get from that. Expected to come out at plus 0.3, and then manufacturing production is also due out, and that's more likely to give the kick and buzz than the GDP, to be fair, because it's more forward thinking. The other one is historical. So there we are. Okay, that's where we are with news today. Let's have a look at the euro. Euro is having a bit of a flyer at the moment. There was a bit of data just come out. French manufacturing data, production came out at 2.1 versus 0.3. So big positive surprise there. Yeah, anyway, there we go. It's enough to get this market rallying this morning. It's a bit of a low-key bit of data, but all the same, it doesn't look like it's moving it. There you go. So you can have a look. It's probably moved it this morning more than it moved for most of yesterday, and it may even push on through a little bit further just to make sure it moves more than yesterday. But you see how tight this market is. This may be the catalyst for a bit more price action. We'll see, but I do wonder if once it's settled itself down, whether we'll see it just pushing back and just waiting for the Fed data to come out. So continue this pretty much slowish sideward price action. There's not much in terms of trying to trade this. There's little to be done on the euro for me at the moment. It's just no volatility there. The pound. Well, the pound has continued to break lows. As I said yesterday, I was wondering whether it would continue down. Well, it continued down and making new lows at the moment. It seems selling to any retrace at the moment, as long as it's up to the 4 hourly towards the 4 hourly 21. It may, if it gets that high. Looking at it yesterday, in fact, you need to look at the lower time frames and put some moving averages on to see where it's actually pulling back to and reacting. It's right down to sort of 30-minute time frames that you can come down to. I'll just pop that on there. You see it's at 30-minute 34, 21. They're effectively is doing a good enough job to be fair, but it's not wanting to do too much. Cause got the daily pivot above us today at the moment. We'll see how it goes. If it does manage to get any traction to the upside, at the moment it's really, as I say, it's a sell if it pulls back to a key moving average. Dollar yen. Dollar yen, it's slowing, the pace is slowing down here on these daily bars here. I'm still quite bullish on it. It's given back the gains it made in previous weeks, and it's continued slowly to do more. It's back into its daily 50 at the moment. Whether that will hold it, we'll see. but as I say, we've got the Fed meeting later. I think we could end up in a very small move as we run into that meeting. So very tiny price action yesterday, and 60 minutes you can see, and well, we could end up with the same again. Aussie dollar. So what I'm basically saying is there's nothing really I'm liking the look of at the moment. Some of these markets need to move before I can even consider taking a trade. Aussie dollar's continuing at the moment to sell off. To me, it always has been a bit weaker. How it did so well last month, I really don't know, but I do know. But it's looking soft again there, and again it's becoming one of the weaker ones of the pairs there. So if you're looking at across the pairs, cross pairs to trade, the Aussie dollar may be on one side of that. Looking weak at the moment. It hasn't even managed on, again, it's a bit like the pound, it's troubling to get back to a sort of key moving average, and you have to come down to, say, the 30-minute time frame and look for some of your moving averages there. But even that's quite rare, and it seems to be happening more through the Asian session. We had a little blip through again, 6:30 this morning there, early-ish, and off it's gone again. So you need to be up awake. You need to be early for the Aussie, didn't you? Anyway, it's maybe just more of the same for the Aussie dollar. Canadian dollar. Canadian dollar's not moved too much. I mean, it's only just pitched over Friday's high there, and it's sort of slow. It's holding on reasonably well. We've got the data out later. That could, well, more than likely, particularly with the press conference at 3:15, I'm sure we'll see some volatility around that later. How it will move this morning, well, traders may position themselves this morning, we'll see. But choppy old afternoon yesterday, and most of yesterday's, okay, it's a 30-minute chart, but it looks even worse when you look at it on the 60-minute chart. Just waiting for the news, waiting for the US data and guidance, but I'm getting the feeling from Powell's he didn't say too much yesterday, but from statements and from other members of the Fed, that it could well be, let's wait and watch. So there we go. As the CAD, that's pretty much it really. I'll have a quick look at the S&Ps for those following the S&Ps, and you'll see well, yes, they did manage a little bit of a reversal there, but it's looking like it wants to give it back again today. At the moment, it's again, it's sort of early morning sort of moves that we see, and then it sort of reverses. Actually late, just after 8 o'clock, it did actually manage to reverse yesterday, but it was a soft old approach. Didn't quite get down to its S2 yesterday. Did move in that direction. At the moment, well, it's this hourly picture. We've got a bit of divergence that was sitting there on the top part of that. That's really worked its way off now. It could continue up. I'm looking at it, it's hard to see. Probably high low, high through that. Well, it certainly is there into that divergence. So high lows, high highs into it. So maybe if it starts breaking the upper side here, it could push up. But I get the feeling that could well again consolidate until we move closer to news time. So that's it for me. I wish you a great day, and I will speak to you in the morning. Bye for now.